he's doing a thing.
We're right up in here now, okay? Well, actually, we're up in here. I don't know if Sandstone Peak actually, there it is. That says Sandstone Peak. So Tri-Peaks is about over in here somewhere. The heavy dark lines on here that have dashes, and then there's a solid one over here, those are fault lines. So you can see how the range, the high range, the bony, this is the bony range here more or less, and it's underlain by all this volcanic rock, which is very resistant to erosion. And then all this sort of brown-gray color that's got the purple in it, that's all the Topanga Formation. It's mostly the sedimentary shale and sandstone. It erodes easier. So when you get over to this bony mountain fault, and if you were to walk down the Chamberlain Trail, which comes down through here and then drop down into Sycamore Canyon, when you cross that bony fault, that's really where the big break and slope is when you drop off the mountain. So that's what's causing the bony range that you see so well from, like if you ever take a boat trip out here into this south of us here, you look back on the bony range and it's really prominent, the volcanic part, and then it drops off towards Sycamore Canyon, and that's due to that bony fault there. Which one now?
Where did we start?
Oh, where did we start? We started back over Sandstone Peak. Yeah, we started right over in here. The Triumphal Pass is on this base actually, underneath all this color, is actually a topographic base. So if you get close, you can read that. This map is by Tom Dibley. He passed away about 10 years ago. He mapped a huge amount of coastal California. And these maps can be purchased, these paper maps, from the Santa Barbara Museum of Natural History. And if you just type in Santa Barbara Museum of Natural History and go to their bookstore, you'll see a section that says Geologic Maps or Dibley Maps. It's D-I-B-B-L-E-E, Jr., Thomas Dibley Jr. And he's got over 400 maps of coastal California, and actually going all the way over to the San Joaquin Valley. And I think they cost about $20 for the one sheet. And this one combines two 7.5-minute quadrangles. It's Triumphal Pass, and the one over here is Point Mugu. And so he's got a cross section on here. It goes right through Sandstone Peak. So it starts over here. It starts down here somewhere at the A line, and it goes up Sandstone Peak. And actually, he's taken it over off this map. So this part from here over to here, that's on this map. And then I have the other map, Newberry Park. I brought that with me. That would, he shows the rest of his cross section. Again, that's a side view. You're looking from over where Mark is standing, more or less, at this slice of the earth. And so here is Sandstone Peak. Here is this big sort of anticline. It's all coming up like this. Now it's got a little bit of a bend in it here, but it generally is coming up and then it drops off at the coastline. There's the Malibu Coast Fault. He's drawn it a little bit different than we do. And then out here is the Conejo Valley, where it's kind of dropped down and made this bowl.
So as that piece pushes up, will it push this whole area this way?
It'll tilt it back this way, unless you're on the front limb, like over here. Once you cross the crest of the anticline, I didn't bring that other section. That's a little more regional. Once you're on the crest of this structure that's growing above this thrust fault that's active, it's actually propagating into the ocean. So what's going to happen, despite sea level rise, is Santa Monica Mountains are going to, over geologic time, are going to propagate out into the channel. They're digging up parts of it. It's actually incorporating parts of the channel deposits, or the northern Santa Monica Bay, into the mountain range. And that's what we're seeing here. If you were to unflatten this all out before 3 million years ago, all of this would have been offshore, and then it's just incorporated all of that. It's grown with time. So this fold is growing outward, and the back limb is tilting back. So this part is tilting northward back here. That's why you're able to walk from older rocks like Topanga through the Conejo Volcanics, then into the younger Monterey. And he kind of shows this here. That's a schematic. So at the very bottom, he's showing the Topanga, the older rocks, the sedimentary rocks, these ones here. And then there's a lot of intrusive volcanic stuff going here. These are like little blobs of igneous rock that come up and cool within the very close to the surface. And then these are all like flow units here, all the ones that come across. So that's your Conejo Volcanics there. And if you continued this little diagram upward and incorporated what's over the Conejo Valley, you'd get into another package of sedimentary rocks called the Monterey Formation.
What's that pink like spike going through it?
Where are you talking about? Which one?
That's the igneous rock that has come up.
Yeah, that's it's what they call diabase, or but it's basically it's a neck probably to where there was like a little volcano or a little cinder cone. But remember this topography now, we're looking at the modern topography, which is a result mainly of what's been going on tectonically in the last 3 million years. All this volcanic terrain and all the volcanoes and the surface features, they've been stripped off. They're all gone. We're looking at what's got buried or what was cooled deeper into the crust. So we're not seeing the surface of that. What was at the surface at the time that was
That's
going
like
on.
a little sludge that was.
Yeah, and so there was a lot more volcanic rock on top of this, and this all got stripped off.
This is kind of a silly question, but I don't know the answer. Is there any, like active lava down here in Southern California?
No, the closest you find is when you drive out to east of Barstow and Amboy and Pishka, those two
Yeah,
places.
I know even up in like in the Sierras, there's little places where.
Yeah, the Owens Valley is full of recent stuff. Yeah, and then the Mojave has got a couple places. If you drive up towards Vegas on 15, there's SEMA. There's a volcanic field there that's real young. I mean, young geologically. It's like I don't know, 5,000–10,000 years old, something like that.
There's no hot rocks in there.
There are actually up in the if you get up into Owens Valley, around Mammoth, it's still active.
Hot Creek and all that.
Yeah. And there's a fumarole, what they call a fumarole, on the top of Mammoth Mountain that actually someone got killed in about 15 years ago skiing. They went up with a big pile of snow and they got too close to this smoking thing and they fell into it. Yeah, not a good way to go.
Quick way to go.
Hopefully.
Questions?
Like the guy that fell in.
Oh, not acid.
Oh, that sounds awful.
Okay,